This is Miss Loeck, principal here at Roseville Area High School. To commemorate and honor the January 18th Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, I will be reading a letter entitled The Meaning of the Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday by Coretta Scott King. The Martin Luther King Jr. holiday celebrates the life and legacy of a man who brought hope and healing to America. We commemorate as well the timeless values he taught us through his example, the values of courage, truth, justice, compassion, dignity, humility, and service that so radiantly defined Dr. King's character and empowered his leadership. On this holiday, we commemorate the universal, unconditional love, forgiveness, and nonviolence that empowered his revolutionary spirit. We commemorate Dr. King's inspiring words because his voice and vision filled a great void in our nation and answered our collective longing to become a country that truly lived by its noblest principles. Yet, Dr. King knew that this wasn't enough just to talk the talk, that he had to walk the walk for his words to be credible. And so we commemorate on this holiday the man of action who put his life on the line for freedom and justice every day, the man who braved threats and jail and beatings, and who ultimately paid the highest price to make democracy a reality for all Americans. The King holiday honors the life and contributions of America's greatest champion of racial justice and equality, the leader who not only dreamed of a colorblind society, but also who led a movement that achieved historic reforms to help make this reality. On this day, we commemorate Dr. King's great dream of a vibrant, multiracial nation united in justice, peace, and reconciliation. A nation that has a place at the table for children of every race and room at the inn for every needy child. We are called on this holiday not merely to honor, but to celebrate the values of equality, tolerance, and interracial sister and brotherhood he so compellingly expressed in his great dream for America. It is a day of interracial and intercultural cooperation and sharing. No other day of the year brings so many peoples from different cultural backgrounds together in such a vibrant spirit of brother and sisterhood. Whether you are African American, Hispanic, or Native American, whether you are Caucasian or Asian American, you are a part of the great dream of Martin Luther King Jr. had for America. This is not a black holiday. It is a people's holiday, and it is the young people of all races and religions who hold the key to the fulfillment of his dream. We commemorate on this holiday the ecumenical leader and visionary who embraced the unity of all faiths in love and truth. And though we take patriotic pride that Dr. King was an American, on this holiday we also must commemorate the global leader who inspired nonviolent liberation movements around the world. Indeed, on this day, programs commemorating my husband's birthday are being observed in more than 100 nations. The King holiday celebrates Dr. King's global vision of the World House, a world whose people and nations have triumphed over poverty, racism, war, and violence. The holiday celebrates his vision of ecumenical solidarity, his insistence that all faiths had something meaningful to contribute to building the beloved community. The holiday commemorates America's preeminent advocate of nonviolence, the man who sought and taught by example that nonviolent action is the most powerful, revolutionary force for social change available to oppressed people in their struggles for liberation. This holiday honors the courage of a man who endured harassment, threats, beatings, and even bombings. We commemorate the man who went to jail 29 times to achieve freedom for others, and who knew he would pay the ultimate price for his leadership, but kept on marching and protesting and organizing anyway. Every King holiday has been a national teach-in on the values of nonviolence, including unconditional love, tolerance, forgiveness, and reconciliation, which are so desperately needed to unify America. It is a day of intensive education and training in Martin's philosophy and methods of nonviolent social change and conflict reconciliation. The holiday provides a unique opportunity to teach young people to fight evil, not people, to get in the habit of asking themselves, what is the most loving way I can resolve this conflict? On the King holiday, young people learn about the power of unconditional love, even for one's adversaries, as a way to fight injustice and diffuse violent disputes. It is a time to show them the power of forgiveness in the healing process at the interpersonal as well as the international level. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is not only for celebration and remembrance, education and tribute, but above all, a day for service. All across America on this holiday, his followers perform service at hospitals and shelters and prisons and wherever young people need some help. It is a day of volunteering to feed the hungry, rehabilitate housing, tutoring those who can't read, mentoring at-risk youngsters, consoling the brokenhearted, and 1,000 of other projects for building the beloved community of his dream. We call you to commemorate this holiday by making your personal commitment to serve humanity with the vibrant spirit of unconditional love that was his greatest strength, and which empowered all of the great victories of his leadership. And with our hearts open to this spirit of unconditional love, we can indeed achieve the beloved community of Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. May we who follow Martin now pledge to serve humanity, promote his teachings, and carry forward his legacy into the 21st century.
This is a faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. And this will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, "My country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghanies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when this happens, and when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, "Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last."